There are a lot of challenges in the real estate market right now, and we have a new Canadian Prime Minister. So my question for Mark Carney is, what is he going to do to help the Canadian real estate market? We have challenges with affordability. We have challenges with supply. We are today going to go through what his action plan is for Canadian real estate to see if that is going to help us. Hi, my name is Pritash. I lead a Toronto-based real estate team helping buyers and sellers all across the GTA. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and that way you'll get more content like this. Let's jump straight into this video and take a look at what Prime Minister Mark Carney's plan is for the real estate market. He has a specific page dedicated to what his housing plan will be, and we're going to walk through it together to see what he's talking about and if those are going to be the points that we need addressed to help the market right now. So here's the page that they've dedicated to talking about what they're going to do. So right at the top, it says make housing more affordable. Awesome. That's what we want to do. Mark Carney will surcharge Canada's housing plan to tackle the affordability crisis and catch up to the needs of our growing population. So it's good that they're addressing the growing population here and the fact that they're probably going to need to increase building. Yep, and as you scroll down, that's literally the first thing right here. It's time to build. So Canada faces an urgent housing crisis. So it's recognized that this is a major pillar probably for their party to focus on to help Canadians get more affordable housing. So there's a bit of an introduction here, which I'm going to skip, and I'm going to get right into the bulk of what the actual plan is. So if we look at it here, it looks like it's been split up into three different sections. Section 1 is to expand our housing supply. If we scroll down, section 2 is to improve housing affordability. And section 3 is to improve access to affordable housing. So there's three different prongs here in the plan. Let's go through it starting right at the top here. So to expand our housing supply, there are 5 different points that are mentioned. The very first one here says double the pace of new housing construction over 10 years. Okay, that's a very bold thing to say, to just double the pace. I assume they're going to get into how they're going to do that. But it says we have been building an average of roughly 227,000 homes per year over the past decade. We need to double this rate by improving the way we build homes so that we can build 4 million homes over the next several years. So one of the main reasons why housing is so affordable right now in Canada is because there's just not enough supply of the housing. So when there's not enough supply in the market and there's a growing population of people who want to buy the real estate, that's what's causing the prices to go up, or at least one of the several reasons. So doubling the pace of construction would certainly help if they're able to achieve that. Point number 2 says, boost innovation and productivity in housing construction to accelerate building speeds and lower building costs. Okay, that sounds great. We definitely want to utilize innovation in the real estate space and increase productivity. So let's see if they get a little bit more detail here. We will also invest in new technologies that speed up completion times and improve quality. So of course, construction is something that takes a lot of time just by design. So if they can use some sort of innovation to improve that, that would definitely be in the right direction. Number 3, grow the construction sector workforce. So one of the things we've heard in the past is that the speed and rate of construction is slow simply because we just don't have enough trained workers in this industry. So it looks like they're going to try to address that. Accelerated home construction will require a corresponding investment in our skilled trade workforce. Okay, we will expand and accelerate training and apprenticeship programs for skilled trades so that we can build the homes Canadians need. Okay, so this again speaks to the fact that if they are going to double the rate of construction, then of course we will need an investment in the actual workforce to construct those exact houses. Number 4, cut red tape, reduce fees, levies, and taxes to drive down the cost of building and accelerate permitting approvals. There's a lot of red tape basically when people are trying to do different things within the real estate industry, especially as developers are trying to get permits and rezone, so on and so forth. There are a lot of rules and a lot of steps that are involved with the government to get through to the actual permits that you actually need. So it looks like they're going to figure out how to address that. So this sounds great. I don't know exactly how that would be done and how long it would take to implement this, but something that definitely would help. We need more incentives for investment and growth, not fewer. We will leverage new federal investments with provinces, territories, and municipalities to lower fees such as development charges that unfairly increase housing costs and create barriers to building new homes. We know that even large builders have slowed down the construction rate because there are so many development fees that are charged to these builders. Obviously, homes are expensive and construction is expensive, but a lot of that cost, we've heard, is going to the government in terms of fees that need to be put in there. So maybe there's some opportunity here for the government to reduce some of those fees on developers so that they don't have to pass those on in the cost of the actual units for the end users. That would be incredible. Number 5, reduce housing bureaucracy, zoning restrictions, and design criteria prescribed by government staff. Okay, so this sounds to me a little bit similar to number 4, a little bit more specific on the bureaucracy, zoning restrictions. I kind of lumped that in over here in terms of making approvals simpler, but again, great. So that's section number 1. Okay, let's move to the second section in the plan, which is to improve housing affordability. So there are 3 different points here. The first one is to eliminate the GST for first-time home buyers on homes under $1 million. So from my understanding, the taxes that are put on top of properties are on new construction for the most part. So I think that's perhaps what they're talking about here. It says we must ease the financial burden on young Canadians to help them catch up and enter the housing market. So I think the majority of this speaks to new construction and potentially reducing the taxes that are put onto those units, as most resale properties have taxes included in them. There might be more to this that will come out, and we'll learn about that when it does. Point number 2 in this section is to address the housing needs and advance the self-determination of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We will work in partnership to address housing availability, safety, and affordability by advancing solutions that respond to local priorities across urban, rural, and northern communities and support the extraordinary leadership and innovation already underway. Okay, that is awesome. And finally, number 3, enhance energy efficiency in homes to lower operating costs for Canadians and support sustainability. Okay, so this one doesn't speak directly to the cost of the housing itself, but actually goes into costs for operating homes and sustainability, which is also a good point here. And finally, the very last section is to improve the access to affordable housing. So here there's 2 points. The first one being remove barriers to building and acquiring affordable housing. We will support small and nonprofit builders by expanding access to funding and low interest loans delivered by CMHC. So this one looks like it speaks more to smaller builders and what they can do to make it easier for them to be able to do more in this industry as well. And the last point is to double nonprofit community housing, including co-op housing, to deliver permanently affordable homes and strengthen communities. So that's great. More targeted audience here, people who would need even more help than the average Canadian here, and doing something more for those specific communities. So this is the plan of Mark Carney and his government to help housing affordability in Canada. You know what? More than what is written in this plan is, what do we think about it? Is this possible? Is this something that we think they're going to be able to achieve? So I'm more interested in hearing what you have to say and other Canadians have to say about this. So please drop a comment below. Tell me, do you think this is possible? Do you think this is on the right track? And what we need as Canadians right now for the industry. If there is anything else you want to discuss in the real estate market right now, such as the current opportunities out there, you can easily click the link in the description below and book a 15-minute call with me. I'd be happy to chat, and I'll see you in the next video.